Hi everyone, this is Emma at the Vlog Lady, and today I'm just going to do a short video which is a book review. I've been a bit short of ideas of what to do on YouTube for my interest in Twin Peaks and David Lynch, so I thought I would just do this review today, and hopefully I can do a few more videos like this in the future if I get my hands on any of the merchandise coming out in regards to the new Twin Peaks or any kind of Lynch related stuff. But today I'm going to be doing a review of an older book, which is David Lynch's Catching the Big Fish. Came out in 2006, I believe. I have the hardback version. You can get an audio version which is actually read by David Lynch himself. This may be preferable to some people, especially if you like the sound of David Lynch's voice. I find he has a very distinctive sound and pronunciation of things, and he doesn't necessarily have the same intonations as other people, so that might be an option if you want to listen to his voice. You can. But I have the hardback version, and it's a small little book. It's around 180 pages. I'll just read you the blurb on the back. In Catching the Big Fish, internationally acclaimed filmmaker David Lynch provides a rare window into his methods as an artist, his personal working style, and the immense creative benefits he has experienced from the practice of meditation. So this book is a mixture of a lot of things. When I started reading this book, I realized quite quickly that I'd actually read a lot of this stuff before, because the book is quoted quite often on the internet. If you have read anything about David Lynch, you might not be totally surprised by the content of this book. There is a lot of new stuff too that I hadn't come across. A lot of this book covers David Lynch's interest in meditation, Transcendental Meditation. I find that difficult to say. And I think the title refers to the idea of diving within and catching ideas. So that's David Lynch's metaphor for that, catching the big idea, catching the big fish. And I've always thought it was very interesting that he is so passionate about Transcendental Meditation. I'll just call it TM from now. He is so passionate about TM. He has his own foundation, the David Lynch Foundation. They take it to schools. So when he wrote this book, he had been practicing TM for 30 years, and I always think that it's a very important part of who David Lynch is if you want to understand him as an artist and how he operates. And it's very interesting to hear how he got into meditation, his first experience of this. I do feel that he is almost describing this as a introduction to those who are interested in practicing TM themselves. If you do know anything about it, you will know that TM requires you to have a personal tutor sort of thing. You have to go into a setting. You can't just learn it via YouTube or something like that. You have to be given a personal mantra. So it is something that requires a lot of thought about whether you want to commit to it or not. From how David Lynch describes it in this book, it is something that could be totally beneficial to your life and really open your mind up, especially if you're a creative type person looking for inspiration, looking for peace, a sense of true happiness and fulfillment. So basically he talks about TM right the way through the book and how that influences his behavior and how it influences his work as well. He talks a little about his personal life in regards to that as well. And in this chapter called Suffocating Rubber Clown Suit, he says that when he started meditating, he was filled with anxieties and fears, and he felt a sense of depression and anger. He called that depression and anger the suffocating rubber clown suit of negativity. But he says that once he started meditating, the clown suit dropped away. So it's not a very in-depth book in terms of finding out a lot of details about David Lynch. He does talk briefly about his childhood and his adolescence and how he became the person he is today, but it's in a very Lynchian way. You kind of feel like he is giving an interview to someone and he's not actually divulging everything that he could. The narrative voice of this book is very much how you'd expect David Lynch to speak, to sound. The chapters are very short. Most of them are just a couple of pages, if that. And sometimes they are just one paragraph. I mean, to be honest, meditating is not for me, but I still enjoy reading this account of someone whose life is transformed by meditation, because of my interest in David Lynch himself and his work and how his work affects me. So I don't think you have to necessarily support the idea of TM. I know that it can be a controversial thing. Some people think that it's a little bit exploitative because of the fact that it requires payment to a foundation or a teacher. And so he talks about his work on various movies and Twin Peaks as well. He talks about his relationship with Angelo Badalamenti, the composer. He talks about the casting process, how he rehearses, how he arranges his actors, how he likes to work on set. He divulges a few secrets about various scenes in some of his movies, tells us some things that we might not know. I mean, when I first read this, I did find it lacking in substance somewhat, and I wish there was more, but then again, it is David Lynch, and this is kind of what I expected. So, like, for Mulholland Drive, when he's discussing Mulholland Drive, there is a chapter called The Box and the Key, and there is one line. I don't have a clue what those are. So that's what you get. There is a message of positivity throughout this book, and it is a very uplifting book to read. It is definitely something that a David Lynch fan will enjoy reading. So that's it really. This is a book I would recommend. You can get it for a few pounds in the UK, I think, from Amazon or from other booksellers. And as I said, you can get the audio version if that is your preference. I have heard a few clips of David Lynch reading this material, and it is very engaging to hear his voice. I would definitely recommend this book to any David Lynch fans, anyone who likes his work, anyone who's interested in Transcendental Meditation. Sorry, I cannot say that very well. And anyone who is a creative type person, who is an artist, a filmmaker, a painter, a writer, anything like that, because I think that the book is also filled with advice and the knowledge of one who has gone before and made it as a successful artist. So that's it. Thank you very much for watching. You can subscribe to the channel if you like Twin Peaks, David Lynch. I also am doing some stuff on Cult TV and other TV shows that I like. You can also leave a comment below to tell me what you think of this book if you've read it. That's it. Goodbye.